On this season of One Lap, 4 of us ride 1,000 miles around the perimeter of Michigan's lower peninsula.
I love riding on 2 wheels, and I love Michigan. I thought, what a great way to go see it all.
Kind of like the mix of guys this year. It provided a different viewpoint of the trip.
We wanted to throw a little element in there and camp, kind of my idea, which due to the weather, I wish it wasn't.
Long for this place for so long. Now I lay me down and be long. And I breathe in the air fresh from the blessed Midwest. I am held by the forest where I go for rest, and washed by the waters of Lake Michigan. And wherever I go, I will return again to my
One of our sponsors was GlobalVision downtown Holland. Bob and Nancy graciously hooked all of the riders up with prescription sunglasses. We went through and tried on a bunch of frames.
Some that we definitely probably wouldn't have brought home.
They've got some things that are just off the wall. Just every imaginable frame that you can think of. Really a cool place.
He took care of all of the riders, and we all had great looking sunglasses.
It was fun. We had a lot of laughs.
Day one, we met up at Graphics Gurus.
We were going to Graphics Guru to see for the first time our bikes after they had wrapped them.
What we did is we dropped our bikes off, and we were able to let them creatively customize each one of the bikes.
They do everything from ambulances and emergency vehicles to monster trucks. Seeing how they produce those was really interesting.
We were just absolutely blown away by what they came up with.
Whoa!
What they did with those bikes kind of fit each person's personality exactly. Graphics Gurus really just kind of knocked it out of the park for us, and we really appreciate that.
We got out of there and we took a beeline towards Kalamazoo. It was a great ride. It was the first time that all 4 of us had ridden together.
When you're riding with a new group of people, it's always a learning curve in there, because some people are a little fast and loose and some people are a little more conservative. We went from Holland, Michigan down to Hickory Corners to the Gilmore Car Museum, and what a wonderful experience that was.
For me, the Gilmore Car Museum was outstanding. It was a really neat experience seeing a wide variety of cars.
Quite a few really nice cars. We kind of hit the pocket, learned a little bit about the Ford assembly line, and went into the motorcycle museum. They have an amazing collection. You could spend a day there and chew the whole day up for sure.
And then outside of that, they have different little barns and like dealerships set up. So they had like a Ford dealership and a Cadillac dealership, and we went into those and got to see all these really cool old historically significant cars.
If you've got a day to go out there and you like cars, it's definitely a cool place to be.
After Gilmore, we had a relatively short ride into Kalamazoo.
We decided that our next stop is the Kalamazoo Air Museum. And Bill was in the Air Force, and he was pretty excited about seeing all of the planes in there. And I was in the Marine Corps, and I shot down airplanes for a living. So I was excited about seeing all the planes there.
I'm here with Maggie Sattler, Director of Marketing here at the Kalamazoo Air Zoo. We've got this awesome facility. Why would somebody want to come and check out the Air Zoo?
Why wouldn't somebody want to come and check out the
Yeah,
Air Zoo?
maybe a dumb question, sure. But
Yeah. So we have probably one of the best facilities in the United States. We have everything in flight from the balloons, beginnings of flight, all the way up through the jet age.
Okay.
So there's all sorts of things to look at. Also, we have rides, we have 3D simulators, and we have the world's only remaining SR-71 Blackbird.
Well, hey, thank you very much. We really appreciate you letting us come in. We're going to check things out and hopefully enjoy some of that stuff. So
Have fun.
thank you.
Tons to see.
Cool.
I'm a bit of an airplane buff, and I know Bill used to be in the Air Force, so he's worked on some of these planes.
Upon my exiting the Air Force, I actually got a ride in an F-15 E model. I went in for a pre-flight with a captain. He says, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Going off the end of the runway, I want to invert until you can't see the plane anymore. I want to do like a mock landing and then take off and invert again."
God.
And it was an hour and 45 minutes.
So the real question is, how many bags did you fill with your stomach?
3.
So after the Air Zoo, we decided that we wanted to grab dinner.
We found a local pub there in Kalamazoo, and we just grabbed some dinner there.
Cheers. Oh, I got one.
Just kind of took a break there, and it was really hot that day. I remember it was extremely warm that day, and that beer went down really well.
Went over to a campground in Climax, Michigan.
This was our first night of camping, and we knew that was going to be a unique thing. This is my first camping experience since I was 18.
I've been to some really, really nice campgrounds. This was a county park campground, which looked like a county park's campground.
First setup's always the trickiest. Everybody trying to unpack their gear and figure it out for the first time. And to be honest, I think everybody slept really well that night.
Day 2, we woke up. We were still pretty tired from the night before.
We were fighting for showers. We were trying to get gear put away. It was difficult to try to figure out how to pack your gear back up into your bike.
For me, that was the first time I had to tear everything down and put it back on. Seems like a really easy task when you think about it, but really it's not.
That was a tremendous amount of work every day.
We needed some sustenance, so we stopped at Kate's Diner. It's a little 50s diner there right on Main Street in Marshall, and it's good food. Everybody was really happy getting a warm meal that morning.
First the frosting.
I didn't believe how much ketchup some people put on their stuff. What do they call that, Dutch frosting?
Oh, you're going to put more on there?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a layered approach.
Nice.
Once we finished up breakfast, we went to the Museum of Magic.
It was a really cool place, and we got to see a lot of the equipment that they used. They had this one trunk that I remember that was really cool, and posters were huge. This place had tons and tons of posters.
Sarah, our contact over there, set us up with a tour. Dan was our magician, so they always give you a professional magician.
The wealth of knowledge that he had on all of the exhibits walking through there was quite amazing.
Once we were done with the tour, we got our own magic show. And nicest guy ever. We got a great tour and we had a great show. It was fun.
So after Marshall, we had a bit of a ride. We ride in hot conditions for over 3 hours as we cross the lower portion of Michigan on our way towards Ypsilanti.
We decided to have a little fun challenge.
We were going to go and play some disc golf.
I think we had to hit Dunham's to get some frisbee golf stuff, and somebody needed some shorts.
It was hot. Again, I'm going to stress, it was sunny and it was hot and it was beautiful. So I bought these shorts, and for whatever reason, I didn't look at the size, and they were extra large. But they were shorts, and I wasn't super hot.
We went to a disc golf course, and I used to play, Bill used to play, Ron used to play, and I think John used to play. He's probably the most athletic out of all of us, so he didn't play, definitely didn't show it.
The Frisbee golf thing was great. It's just nice to kind of rest your legs, get off the bikes for a while and do a little exercise.
You know, some of the guys did better than I thought they would. You know, John really could fling a disc. You know, being an ex-Marine, I kind of figured he had it in him, but, you know, I was going to show him the Air Force way, and there was no money on the line, but there was some bragging rights, and it was a fun experience.
Definitely didn't win any of the holes, but it was a fun time. We had a lot of laughs. It was a good time.
Once we were done with disc golf, we had another short ride to our campsite.
Remember their faces, remember their facing home. Oh, till we meet again, till we meet again. Oh.
We wanted to get there a little early so that we could do some campfire stuff and just kind of hang out and relax. And we showed up, and it's an RV park.
When we got there, they said tents are not allowed. So, night 2 was quite a challenge.
We found another state park, rode over there. It was a little bit of a haul.
So we are now at the second campsite. Come to find out, all the sites are rustic sites. So that means no hookups whatsoever, no power, no water, nothing.
So there are some limitations when we're doing this as far as the camping experience. It does need to have power so that we can charge all of that stuff and download footage for the day and things like that. Just because of the limited space that we have on the scooters, you can't carry around a generator.
So began the hoteling. Unfortunately, I say that with a smile because I do like a comfortable bed and shower.
So we jumped back on our scooters. We went back almost to where we were at the RV park, and we wound up checking into the hotel, and that's what we did for night 2. On the next episode, we scooted through the Motor City before heading north towards Mackinac. We battle extreme weather conditions, and we eat army rations as we rough it at an abandoned campground. Join our adventure as we navigate the eastern coastline of Michigan on one lap fits like a glove.
I had just issues with not being able to sleep. And some of it, a very small part of it, had something to do with our camping neighbors. I just felt like maybe they would maybe sneak over and help themselves or something. I wasn't really sure. Yeah, I'll never forget staying up all night in some campsite somewhere with some sketchy people next door.